At 74, Kenny Roberts finally reveals the 5 riders he never forgave. Kenny Roberts changed motorcycle racing forever. The first American to win a 500 cubic centimeter world championship. A man who walked into Europe and told every rider they were doing it wrong. But at 74, the king of the dirt track has finally revealed something he buried for decades. There were 5 riders he never forgave, and one of them was supposed to be his friend. Kenny Roberts didn't arrive in Grand Prix racing, he invaded it. Born in Modesto, California in 1951, Roberts grew up sliding dirt track bikes sideways at speeds that made European riders sick just watching. In 1978, he walked into the 500 cubic centimeter world championship and won it. First American ever, then won it again in 1979 and again in 1980. 3 consecutive titles. He didn't just beat the Europeans, he humiliated them, changed their riding style, changed their training, changed everything. And he made enemies doing it. Because Kenny Roberts never asked for permission. He took what he wanted and dared anyone to stop him. Number 5. Giacomo Agostini. The Italian king with 15 world championships and a pride that matched every single one of them. When Roberts arrived in Europe in 1978, Agostini was already retired from riding, but had become the Yamaha team manager. And from day one, these two clashed. Roberts was loud, confident, American. He didn't bow to European traditions, and he didn't care about Agostini's legacy. Agostini looked at Roberts like an outsider who needed to learn respect. Roberts looked at Agostini like an old man blocking the doorway. The tension inside that Yamaha garage was suffocating. Roberts wanted full control of his bike setup. Agostini wanted control of the team. 2 kings in one castle, and neither willing to kneel. Roberts won 3 championships under that roof, but never once gave Agostini credit for it. And Agostini never forgave Roberts for treating him like he was irrelevant. But the truth Roberts carried for decades was uglier. He believed Agostini actively tried to undermine him inside the team, feeding better information to other riders, playing favorites, using his power to remind Roberts who built that empire before he arrived. Roberts never forgave that betrayal. Because in his mind, a man who sabotages his own rider doesn't deserve the title of team manager. He deserves nothing. Number 4. Barry Sheene, the British playboy who raced motorcycles like he was performing for cameras. And most of the time, he was. Sheene was handsome, charming. The media loved him. Sponsors loved him. Women loved him. And Roberts couldn't stand any of it. Not because he was jealous, because Roberts believed Sheene cared more about his image than his racing. These two fought on track and off track throughout the late 70s. Sheene had been the face of motorcycle racing in Europe before Roberts showed up. And when this American kid from California started winning everything, Sheene didn't handle it well. The verbal jabs started. Sheene questioned Roberts' style, called his dirt track sliding dangerous and reckless, said it didn't belong in Grand Prix racing. Roberts heard every word and answered on the track. He beat Sheene so badly in 1979 and 1980 that Sheene's career never recovered. But the grudge went deeper than results. Roberts believed Sheene tried to turn the European paddock against him, whispered to journalists, poisoned the atmosphere, made Roberts feel like a foreigner who would never be accepted no matter how many titles he won. Roberts never forgave Sheene for that. Even after Sheene's death in 2003, Roberts never softened his words about the man. Some wounds don't heal with time. They just go quiet. Number 3, Freddie Spencer. And this is where the blood gets cold. Spencer wasn't a stranger. He wasn't a European rival. He was American. He was young. He was the next Kenny Roberts. And that's exactly why Roberts never forgave him. Spencer burst onto the scene in the early 1980s with talent so pure it made veterans look ordinary. In 1983, Spencer beat Roberts for the 500 cubic centimeter championship by just 2 points. 2 points. The tightest title fight the sport had ever seen. And Roberts believed Spencer didn't win it clean. He believed there were political moves behind the scenes, team orders from Honda, strategic manipulation that tilted the championship in Spencer's favor. Whether that was true or not didn't matter to Roberts. In his mind, Spencer stole his crown, and the fact that Spencer was American made it worse. Because Roberts expected loyalty from his own people. He expected Spencer to respect the man who opened the door for every American rider in Europe. Instead, Spencer walked through that door and slammed it in Roberts' face, but the next 2 names cut deeper than any championship battle ever could. Number 2, Eddie Lawson, the steady Eddie. The man with 4 world championships and 0 personality. At least that's what the media said. But Roberts knew better, because Lawson was his creation. Roberts had paved the road for American riders in Europe, and Lawson drove straight down the middle of it without ever looking back to say thank you. Lawson joined the 500 cubic centimeter class in 1984 and immediately started winning. Cool, calm, emotionless. He didn't celebrate victories. He didn't trash-talk rivals. He just collected trophies like a man collecting groceries. And Roberts watched this with a fury that never faded, because Lawson took everything Roberts built and acted like it was always there. The sponsorships, the respect, the acceptance from European teams. Roberts had bled for all of it. Lawson just showed up and benefited. But the real wound came from how Lawson treated Roberts publicly. He never acknowledged the debt, never said Roberts changed the game, never once stood in front of a camera and said, "This man made my career possible." And in the world of Kenny Roberts, where loyalty meant everything, that silence was the loudest betrayal of all. Roberts could forgive a man who beat him on track. He could forgive a man who insulted him to his face, but he could never forgive a man who erased him. And that's exactly what Lawson did. He erased Kenny Roberts from the story and wrote himself as the beginning. Roberts carried that anger for decades, and at 74, it still hasn't cooled. Number 1, the FIM. And yes, this isn't a rider. This is the governing body of motorcycle racing. The men in suits who controlled the rules, the politics, and the power. And Kenny Roberts never forgave a single one of them. From the moment Roberts arrived in Grand Prix racing, he fought the FIM. He demanded better safety standards. He demanded fair pay for riders. He demanded that the men who risked their lives every Sunday be treated like professionals, not circus performers. And the FIM pushed back every single time. They ignored his safety proposals. They punished his outspokenness with fines and warnings. They protected the European establishment and treated Roberts like a loud American who needed to be silenced. When Roberts retired from riding and became a team owner, the war got worse. He built his own motorcycle from scratch, the KR3. a three-cylinder machine designed to challenge the factories. And the FIM changed the regulations in ways that made his project nearly impossible to compete. Roberts believed they did it deliberately. He believed the governing body wanted him gone because he asked too many questions and challenged too many powerful men. And he was probably right. Roberts spent decades fighting for rider safety, fair treatment, and transparency. And the FIM gave him nothing but resistance. At 74 years old, Kenny Roberts has forgiven many things in his life, but the men who let riders die on unsafe tracks while protecting their own power, never. Not once. Not ever. Kenny Roberts never played by anyone's rules. He invaded Europe, won 3 championships, and fought wars that most riders were too afraid to start. Agostini tested his patience. Sheene poisoned the atmosphere. Spencer stole his crown. Lawson erased his legacy, and the FIM tried to silence him forever. At 74, the king still hasn't forgiven, and he never will. Subscribe for more untold racing stories.